Good evening and welcome to Vinegar Stadium at Purdue University for tonight's 4A softball state championship game between the Crown Point Bulldogs and the Center Grove Trojans. Hello, one. I'm Kevin Conrad along with Rick Sauter and Rick Embry. We welcome everyone to our coverage of Center Grove softball presented by Duke Homes. Big part of tonight's game, obviously, the championship, but the weather. Rick Sauter, it's 72 degrees, it's cloudy, but rain is expected in the West Lafayette area, so you just kind of wonder, can we get this game in tonight?
Yeah, that's a big question, Kevin. It held off for the first game, but this is a dirt field, and we're used to seeing the Trojans play on turf where they can get through a lot of that. We'll see once the rain starts coming down, and it's coming, how long they can go and what the decisions are made, whether they play tomorrow, or we've kind of got looking to get some final confirmation on if there is an end to the game early tonight, how many innings does that need to be a complete game. But it'll be interesting to see. For sure, weather's going to play a difference in this game.
Rick Sauter, it's been just a great run for the Trojans here in the state tournament. And let's talk about what was just a phenomenal semi-state for the Center Grove Trojans, getting a great win over Terre Haute North, and then in the Final Four against a really good Floyd Central team.
Well, it was just fantastic. I mean, they basically just kind of blew Terre Haute North out. Didn't let them get in the game at all. Got runs early and just kind of put it on them. That Floyd Central team's an awfully strong team. As we saw, good pitching, good hitting. But really, you got to say, great job by the Trojans. We fielded the ball fantastic. Pitching was really good, and we got timely hits, and that's what you really need in these big games. And Trojans look really good. They've got a ton of momentum coming into this championship.
Well, I think throughout the entire postseason, they've been fantastic, both at the plate and especially on the mound. Have outscored their opponents 31-3. So that two-headed monster on the mound with Fuhr and then Beaver coming into the game. I mean, those two have only given up 3 runs in I think 33 innings. So they've been fantastic, and that obviously, you don't need very many runs when you don't give up very many. But that offense has been fantastic, not only in the postseason but throughout this entire season.
And Rick Sauter, one thing that we kind of talked about throughout the season, early on, the Trojans maybe some colder temperatures, really not hitting the long ball. Then the month of May rolls around, temperatures heat up, the bats really heated up for the Trojans. All of a sudden, Sid Herman and also, at third base, you got Hayden Baird, and along with Anna Powell, the DP, really, hitting that long ball a lot more so in the month of May.
I agree. All those girls got hot at the right time, and have really kept it up through the postseason. And then you got Taylor Barrett, who has just been fantastic, really hitting doubles and triples. She's not as much of a home run hitter, but she goes both ways, and she had the 2 big hits for the Trojans in the semi-state.
Well, and I think if you look up and down that Center Grove lineup, I mean, these batting averages are gaudy that they have. May Munson leads off with a 500 average, and you've got 4 other girls over 400, and then the other girls are all in the 300s except Tharp, who's only 293. So it's a lineup that's been potent throughout. They know they can score runs. Sid Herman, especially in this postseason, has been on fire. 667, I think, is what she's batting in the postseason. So you get a couple runs on the board, that obviously then allows your defense and your pitching to kind of relax a little bit, and that leads to success.
Well, Rick, I think an advantage for us, too, for the Trojans. If you give us advantages, I think it is our running ability. If you look kind of up and down the both teams between us and Crown Point, we definitely have an advantage in stolen bases, and our fielding percentage is just fantastic. I don't think you can find a better fielding team. So we might give up the hits. We'll talk a bit about Crown Point and where their strengths are, and their pitching is one of their great strengths. But Trojans got to take advantage of those 2 situations tonight.
Also, we talked a little bit about the pitching, but Center Grove defensively, how about the Avon game? Rick Sauter making the play at home plate. May throws it from center field. They cut down the runner in a 1-0 victory over Avon, but they have made play after play after play here defensively.
I agree. I mean, May Munson center up the middle. That's where you always talk about where teams got to be really strong. And you've got Maddie, the catcher, who's one of the best in the state, and there was a nice article written about her this week. You've got the May Munson center field, and then you've got Barrett and Meyer in the middle, and those 2 can easily make a double play, and which we saw last week to run teams kind of out of a potential rally. So that's where we're really strong. We need to show it again tonight.
Well, and I think as a pitching staff, you got to be very confident when you have those girls behind you, and especially like you referenced, Rick, in that Avon game where Fuhr gave up a few hits early in a couple situations where they had first and second, nobody out. But you're able to get out of those innings and strong throws from the outfield and then turn double plays. Fuhr and Beaver know that they don't have to be overpowering. They don't have to strike a bunch of girls out. to throw a shutout. They know if the ball's put in play, there's a good chance that their defense behind them is going to take care of it and get them out of innings.
Let's talk about Center Grove's opponent tonight, the Crown Point Bulldogs. Boy, an impressive record, 30 wins, 4 losses. They've got 10 straight wins. Duneland Conference champs at 12-2, and they really earned their way to the state championship game. They lost to Lake Central twice during the regular season. They knocked Lake Central, the number 1 team, out of the sectional, and they beat a very good Penn team in the Final Four. So they've had to earn their way to the state title game.
Well, they sure have, Kevin. And if you look at their schedule, that's the only Lake Central's the only Indiana team they've lost to this year. They've lost a couple other games, one in Kentucky, one in Illinois. So they kind of got that monkey off their back. And if you look at down their stats, I mean, we mentioned Center Grove batting .384 in the year. Crown Point's batting .383, so almost dead center. Crown Point has played 34 games compared to 29 Center Grove, so these stats might be skewed a little bit otherwise, but they've scored 332 runs to Center Grove's 240. They have 35 home runs to Center Grove's 21, 88 doubles to Center Grove's 56. So this is a team that can put a lot of runs on the board too.
Well, in addition to putting runs on the board, they're led by an absolute stud on the pitcher's mound, Paige Lazert, rhymes with dessert. That's how we're going to remember that tonight. But Lazert on the mound, 19-2, .91 ERA, but most impressively, 277 strikeouts in 130 innings. So she's averaging over 2 strikeouts an inning. So she's going to be a handle out there on the pitcher's mound. And then offensively, they're led by Ashlyn Keita. She's got 8 homers and batting .515. But you're right, Rick. Those 32 homers from that Crown Point team is very, very impressive.
Center Grove Trojans, along with the Crown Point Bulldogs, have concluded their warm-ups. Both coaches now at home plate for the umpire meeting, coaches meeting. We're just moments away before we get to the announcement of tonight's starters and our first pitch. Tonight, the Center Grove Trojans taking on Crown Point in the Class 4A state championship game. Tonight's game being presented by Duke Homes.
I have lived in Greenwood my entire life. Born and bred, went to Center Grove High School, proud graduate, go Trojans. I enjoy this community. It's my home. It's growing, it has lots to offer, and I'm excited to be a part of it. At Greenwood, we are a full-service bank. We can handle your needs from simple personal accounts, savings accounts for your family, auto loans. If you need to have a mortgage, we can meet that need. Emily Ribley has been in our office for years and knows the area. Scott Hines is Center Grove. He has lived here his entire life and is fabulous. You're not going to find anybody more local than us.
Providing great service is about more than installing water heaters and fixing ACs at Peterman Brothers.
It's about serving people and serving our community.
We see it as our responsibility to help our community grow.
It's why we gave over $71,000 to local charities last year.
When you choose to do business with us, you aren't just getting great quality service for yourself.
You're also supporting your community.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Back here at Purdue University, Class 4A softball state championship game tonight. The Center Grove Trojans, the home team on the scoreboard, taking on the Crown Point Bulldogs. Center Grove making its 12th appearance in the state championship game. For Crown Point, this will be number 2. They won it back in 2017.
Fans, please direct your attention to the pitching circle and join us.
Rick Saw, you look around. Center Grove fans to our left, Crown Point to our right. We have a good crowd for this one.
Yeah, a lot of red. Both teams are red and white. Trojans are in the black today. But big crowd, and about everything's sold out here. And there's a good amount of people out in the outfield area, too. So great to see. State championship, well-deserving with a big crowd.
She's a member of the Lake County Athletic Officials Association.
You see the Trojans wearing the black uniforms tonight because Crown Point, they're wearing the red jerseys and the white pants.
Yeah, a little bit different look there, but saw them get on the bus before they left Center Grove, and that's what they had on, so figured that's what we were looking at. But, a big thing you guys were talking about the weather and the weather coming in is that sometimes leads to you have to be mentally strong. It's the team that can't worry about. There's probably going to be delays tonight. There might be a delay until tomorrow where you have to finish the game. You have to not let any of that stuff worry about it and just, hey, it is what it is, and let's figure out a way to continue. If you're ahead at that time, figure out a way to continue on. If you're behind, figure out a way to come back. So it's going to happen, and I'm sure Coach Coleman has talked to them about that, and you just deal with whatever comes your way.
And to high school athletics in the state of Indiana.
Doing some pregame awards before we get to our starters tonight. Again, Center Grove will be in the third base dugout, the home team tonight. Just to our left, Rick Sauter, your first time here at Benninger Stadium at Purdue. It's a very impressive facility.
It really is. And I was telling Rick Embry, of course, the Boilermaker fan,
now,
we're a pretty bad school. This is a pretty nice facility. So, of course, I'm an IU guy. But, no, it's beautiful. There's a nice setup here, good parking. Everything's pretty close together. You drive by that golf course. It's just beautiful. So, neat area here. The one thing that is interesting is we got an old school dirt field, so that's going to come into play tonight when the rain's coming in. So we'll see how that plays into things going forward.
And if it does rain here tonight, it's always sunny in West Lafayette, so it's very possible that rain just figures out a way to go around Purdue and all of that good stuff. But you're right about, and I'm assuming Coach Coleman probably this week got in touch with a lot of her softball coaching friends and figured out a way to practice multiple times on that dirt infield. So just something that you got to deal with. If I am right, you guys will correct me because you guys were there. Was Avon a dirt field as well when they played regional at Avon?
It was.
So I mean, they got a little bit of experience, and obviously that was a very good defensive game for the Trojans to pull that 1-0 win out. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I'm not too worried about the dirt field or not. Our team's such great fielders; they'll figure it out. So this is. I don't think that's going to come into play now. If it starts raining, it gets muddy, and you start seeing it kind of cake up a little bit. That'll be a little bit different. But umpire's going to keep an eye on that. If there's something that's going to be a dangerous situation or unfair play, they're going to stop the ball game. So we'll see how that goes.
Amy Wingler is a math teacher at Center Grove High School.
So Center Grove High School math teacher Amy Wingler being honored here before the first pitch.
Of each student and her
honoring a couple of high school teachers, one from Crown Point and Amy Wingler from Center Grove High School. So congratulations to Amy Wingler.
When you enter her classroom,
Center Grove was here in 2019 for the Class 4A state championship game right here at Purdue and won that game 1-0 against Leo, and the Trojans scored one run. That was in the very first inning, and they did not score again. That's all they needed. Abby Herbst was unbelievable in the circle in the victory for the Trojans, and it'll be interesting to see what tonight how it unfolds this game. Looking at Lake Central, Crown Point. They beat Lake Central 4-2. They beat Penn 4-2. So they seem to be scoring about 4 runs and giving up 2. So again, it'll be interesting to see how many runs Center Grove can produce here tonight against a really good Crown Point team.
I agree, and a really good pitcher. So Trojans are going to have to produce some runs. I think Crown Point's going to hit the ball. As we said, Riley Fuhr is not a strikeout pitcher. She pitches great, has great spacing in her pitch as far as inside, outside. But they're going to hit the ball, and if some get through, they're going to score a run or two potentially. So Trojans going to need to score, I expect 3 or 4 runs at least to win this ball game.
Well, that's 2019. I think we're going to do starting lineups here. So send it back to you.
Yeah, let's listen in to the PA announcer for the introduction of tonight's players in the Class 4A state championship game from Purdue.
Number 4, Emily Beachwood. Number 10, Amaria Yarborough. Number 17, Hayden Braun. Number 38, Lila Steeman. And number 40, Maya Whitty. Here's the starting lineup for the Bulldogs. Leading off, the designated player, number 14, Lexi Smith. Batting second, center fielder number 3, Scarlett Tegman. Batting third baseman number 28, Ashlyn Keita. Batting fourth in left field, number 19, Nevaeh Rangel. Batting fifth at shortstop, number 9, Lulu Johnston. Batting sixth at second base, number 15, Eva Gilford. Batting seventh, the starting catcher, number 16, Abby Cuevas. Batting eighth at first base, number 23, Corinne Beerett. Batting ninth in right field, number 26, Samantha Dunlap. The starting pitcher for the Bulldogs tonight, number 29, Paige Laser. The Bulldogs are coached by Angie Richwalski. She's assisted by Jessica Brannigan, Christina Sides, Ashley Michalski, Haley Ritchie, and Katie Neal. And now introducing the Center Grove Trojans. First, the non-starters. Number 3, Erica Burris. Number 6, Ella Timmons. Number 8, Ava Krupa. Number 9, Addie Reed. Number 11, Alyssa Jenda. Number 12, Addison Richards. Number 15, Brooke Carlson. Number 17, Kara Beaver. Number 19, Olivia Alvey. And number 20, Sarah Riley. Here's the starting lineup for the Trojans. Leading off in center field, number 1, May Munson. Batting second at second base, number 10, Bryn Meyer. Batting third at first base, number 16, Sydney Herman. Batting fourth at shortstop, number 14, Taylor Barrett. Batting fifth, the designated player, number 18, Anna Powell. Batting sixth at third base, number 13, Hayden Baird. Batting seventh in right field, number 4, Kirsten Harden. Batting eighth, the starting catcher, number 7, Madison Tharp. Batting ninth in left field, number 5, Addison Wolf. And the starting pitcher for the Trojans, number 2, Riley Fewer. The Trojans are coached by Alyssa Coleman. She's assisted by Todd Lewis, Brian Turner, Kaylee Gross, Lindsay Whistle, and Eric Spears. Good luck to both teams. Tonight's IHSA officials for the Class 4A State Championship. Behind the plate from Walkerton, Janice Jasinski Beck. On the bases from Walkerton, Dale Beck, and from New Ross, Greg Caldwell. Thank you to these 3 officials and all the officials working across the state of Indiana, putting education in front of athletics for athletes across Indiana all year long.
All right, we're ready to go. The Center Grove Trojans take the field, warming up. Again, Center Grove, the home team. Wow, Rick, take a deep breath. What just an emotional announcement for the players and starters. I'm sure there's got to be a lot of nerves here early for both teams.
Yeah, there definitely is. I mean, how many times you get a chance to come to state championship and play in this sort of atmosphere, but this is where you go back and think all those practices you had from beginning of the year, all the games you played in Little League and leading up to this point. So big deal for everybody, but should be a great game, and I just hope it's well played by both teams. I'm sure it will be.
Once again, Riley Fuhrer in the circle for the Center Grove Trojans. This has been the formula Coach Coleman has been using all year long. She throws usually 4 innings and then gives way to Kara Beaver for the last 3. So one would assume if it's not broken, don't
I agree.
Don't
I think you'll
it.
see that same situation.
Lexi Smith, senior DP, will lead it off for Crown Point.
And Lexi Smith had a great year. She's batting .411 on the year. She has 33 runs scored. That's second on the team. She has 44 hits. That is tied for first on the team. 18 RBIs, 11 doubles, and a triple. So lots of speed, as you would expect. And she does have 14 stolen bases. That's second on the team, too, as you'd expect from a leadoff batter.
Trying to put down a bunt. She does offer strike 1. Fuhrer to the plate. Hard hit. Ground ball right to the first baseman, Sid Herman. Steps on first, 1 away.
Fielder number 3, Scarlett Tegberg.
Great play by Sid Herman. That ball was hit pretty hard, but Sid got that glove down, kept it in front of her, and was able to get over to first base and get her in time.
Number 2 batter, the center fielder, junior, Scarlett Tegman.
Tegman having a heck of a year. She's batting .494 in the year. She has 39 runs scored. That's most on the team. 44 hits, tied for first. 15 RBIs. 5 doubles, a triple, and 2 home runs, and she has 20 stolen bases, leads the team also.
Pitch is high, ball 1. Crown Point making a lot of noise in the dugout. Fuhrer to the plate, just missed outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
Pretty good pitch. We're just a little bit to the Crown Point first base side, so kind of a little bit harder for us to see that ball coming over the plate, as we have been lucky at Center Grove to be able to see those easily.
Crown Point, 30 wins, 4 losses, 10 straight wins, trying to bunt her way on. Here comes the third baseman making the play. Well done by Hayden Baird. Throws her out at first base, 2 gone.
Well, that was a really nice play by Hayden Baird. She had to race up quickly, and Tigman got out of the box pretty fast, but Baird got it out of there quickly through the first. And you could tell here that ground is pretty hard. That ball bounced up pretty high to her here from that dirt.
Ashlyn Keita, junior, playing at third base. Number 3 batter steps in, swing and a miss. Defensively for the Trojans, Maddie Tharp, senior, behind the plate. Sid Herman, senior, at first base. Bryn Meyer, junior, at second base. Taylor Barrett, sophomore, at shortstop. Hayden Baird, senior, at third. Addie Wolf in left, junior. Mae Munson, senior, in center. And Kirsten Harden, junior, in right field. Next pitch is a ball, so evens up the count 1 apiece. Again, we're at Purdue tonight, and it's a little overcast at the moment. So, again, some threatening skies. We'll see how much we can get done tonight. Hopefully all of it, but if not, they'll come back tomorrow. Afternoon, one would think, to finish it up. Line shot right to Taylor Barrett at third base. She makes the catch. Good start for Riley Fuhrer and the Trojans. 3 up, 3 down. Center Grove coming to the plate for the first time tonight. This is Center Grove Trojans softball being presented tonight by Ducom's.
Our car wash remembers your car's quirks better than your favorite barista remembers your coffee order. Delivering a wash experience as smooth and effortless as your morning latte.
So in today's state finals, our booth presented by TIP, the official.
Great start for Bradley Fuhrer and the Center Grove Trojans in the field. Now Center Grove coming to the plate for the first time tonight. Here in the bottom of the first, no score. Mae Munson will lead off for the Center Grove Trojans, and Rick won a lot of postseason accolades for this young lady. All-State, first team, made the All-Star team, first team, All-State, All-Academic, getting it done on the field and in the classroom.
Yeah, she's just a great all-around player, athlete, and student, and great hitter. We'll go through some numbers in a second, but she might even be a better fielder than she is hitter.
High and outside, ball one.
And May is batting .491 in the year. She has 53 hits and 108 bats, 40 runs scored. That leads the team pretty easily. 17 RBIs, 3 doubles, and 3 triples, and 35 stolen bases. That's by far and away the most on either team tonight.
Lazert. Good fastball. Mae Munson swings through it. Count evens, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, you might even hear that mitt pop. But we mentioned Lazert's just been unbelievable. A junior's 0.91 ERA, 18-2 in the year. 9 games started, 9 complete games. She has 9 shutouts. She's pitched 130 innings, 41 hits, 19 runs, only 17 of those earned. 24 walks to 277 strikeouts. That's amazing. And teams are only batting .094, so less than 1 in 10 are getting on with a hit against Lazert.
2 balls, 1 strike here to Mae Munson, the senior. Puts down the bunt, goes foul down that third base line. Count evens, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Mae Munson. Evie Cuevas behind the plate, catcher here for Crown Point.
And one thing I've seen that May in the sectionals and regionals, semi-state so far, she's tried bunting us several times and just not been able to get it in play as much. She's maybe trying to be a little too fine. It's going foul. So we'll see if she gets one down. Now with 2 strikes, probably won't try it.
And to the third baseman, on to first to get Mae Munson. It's Ashlyn Kita, 1 away, throwing her out. 2 up next, Bryn Meyer, junior for the Trojans. Defensively for the Bulldogs, Kieran Peart, senior at first. Eva Govert, sophomore at second. Lulu Johnston, freshman at shortstop. Again, Ashlyn Kita at third base. She's a junior. Junior in left, Nevaeh Rangel. Scarlett Tegman, junior in center. And Samantha Dunlap, senior in right. Puts down the bunt. Once again to the third baseman. Throws her out, 2 gone. Kita playing well at third.
First baseman number 16, Sydney Herman.
But the Trojans are getting the bat on the ball.
They are. They've two at least putting in play so far. And again, we've seen this dirt actually playing pretty hard. It's getting that third baseman pretty quick.
Number 3 batter. This is Sid Herman, senior. Had a 2-run homer in the semi-state. Fastball, high and outside, ball 1.
Kevin, looking at Crown Point's lineup, they are young. They just have 3 senior starters, have a freshman and 2 sophomores. That's for a team this good. That's pretty strong. They're going to be awfully good next year.
Good cut by Sid Herman. Couldn't quite catch up to it. 1 ball, 1 strike to the senior.
And Crown Point playing pretty deep in the outfield, as you would expect on Herman.
Lazert hits the outside corner.
Ooh.
They're going to say it was outside, ball 2. Or did she say it a strike? No, it's a delayed call. She says 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Wow,
It was called a strike.
That was about a 10-second delay. That was surprising.
The 1-2 delivery, fouled it off. Good protection there by Sid Herman. Ball over the outer half, got a piece of it.
Yeah, we talk about that a lot, how with 2 strikes, you really need to protect. Herman did a nice job there on a pitch that was pretty tough to hit, but she's able to foul it off.
Went after the high heat, strikes her out. swinging. 3 down inning for Crown Point. We played one on our home bank scoreboard. We're scoreless in the Class 4A state championship game. We'll take a break. This is CG Softball, presented tonight by Duke Homes.
Providing great service is about more than installing water heaters and fixing ACs at Peterman Brothers.
It's about serving people and serving our community.
We see it as our responsibility to help our community grow.
It's why we gave over $71,000 to local charities last year.
When you choose to do business with us, you aren't just getting great quality service for yourself.
You're also supporting your community.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
Top of 2 on our home bank scoreboard. Scoreless game between Center Grove and Crown Point. For some reason, we have a slight delay as we look to try and get this top of 2 underway.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're waiting on, whether that's the...
Letting out for Crown Point, left fielder number 19, Nevaeh Ringel.
I think that was a TV screen, Kevin, that they were trying to wait on to get them started.
Now we're ready to go. Riley Fuhrer, pitch outside, ball 1. Number 4 batter, Nevaeh Ringel. She's a junior.
Yeah, Rangel having an excellent season, as you'd expect a 4 batter. She's batting .363 in the year, 27 runs scored. She's 33 out of 91, 31 RBIs, 7 doubles, second on the team. 1 triple and 5 home runs, tied for second on the team also.
Hits the next one foul down the right field line. 1 ball, 1 strike to Ringel. Top of the first. Fuhrer was able to get a couple of ground outs and a line out. High and outside, ball 2. Just outside. 3 balls, 1 strike. Riley Fuhrer, she puts a lot of spin on that ball.
Yeah,
more of a
does.
finesse type pitcher, as Rick said. Not going to get a lot of strikeouts, but she does get her fair share of ground outs. Foul ball. Count goes full.
Good pitch there. Stayed on that outside corner to not let Rangel really get an unwind on one. 3-2 count now.
Fuhrer back on the rubber. Tharp with the sign to the plate. Fly ball in the infield, called out by Taylor Barrett. In behind second base, makes the catch, 1 away.
Good job by Barrett. We know the Trojans, all their players have a lot of range, and Barrett's probably the leader of that in the infield. Able to get under that pretty easily, and good job by Riley Fuhrer going down 3-1 and able to come back and get that out. Oh, what are they?
Lightning detected in the area, apparently, I believe. So they're going to have the players go to their dugouts. Not much rain at the moment. No umbrellas have gone up. So it must be a lightning situation. But both teams now to the dugout.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Tonight's game has been stopped due to severe weather in the area. At this time, the outdoor seating and concourse areas are closing. All spectators should depart Benninger Stadium and return to their vehicles immediately. Please stay tuned for further information on the status of the game. Again, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game has been paused due to severe weather in the area. At this time, the outdoor seating areas and concourse areas are closing. All spectators should depart Benninger Stadium and return to their vehicles immediately. Stay tuned for further information on the status of the game. Thank you.
So you heard it loud and clear over the PA system here at Benninger Stadium. Lightning in the area, fans being evacuated, players to the dugout. So usually, what is it, about a 45 or 30 to 45 minute delay from the last lightning strike? So we'll see how long this is going to last.
Here's the tough part is that in Greenwood, Indiana, it's clear. We're going to be clear, and it's just going to be sitting here, Kevin. If you look at that, up until
we were told
2 a.m.
We were told that if this game obviously cannot be played tonight because of weather, we would come back tomorrow afternoon, maybe like a 1 or 2 o'clock time frame to finish out this game. We're just now in the top of 2. We're scoreless, no hits for either team. So again, a lightning delay here at Benninger Stadium at Purdue University. Rick, Center Grove off to a good start. Both teams off to a really good start with the pitching and the defense.
Yep, good pitching, good defense so far. Not really any ball hit hard. We set a line out, but that was a pretty soft liner by Ground Point in the first inning. Trojans really ground ball and a bunt out and strikeout. So nobody really getting kind of getting their feet wet still, seeing what the pitching looks like. But that's kind of what we expected. We saw, even though both these teams have a lot of runs put on the board, you get at this level and you get to pitchers like this, and it's usually a lower scoring game, and that's what I'm expecting here tonight, and shown that way so far.
Also, they're going to put the tarp on the field. They're rolling it out in the right field area. So Rick Embry now rejoins us here on the web stream. And so, again, under a weather delay, we're in the top of 2, no score. And I believe we have lightning in the area. And, again, not much rain or no rain at all at the moment. But it appeared, looking at what you had, Rick Sauter, looking at the radar, there is rain on the way.
Yeah, rain on the way. Yeah, rain on the way. It looks like maybe some heavy rain coming. And as it looked, you never know, but as it looked from the radar, that it's just going to kind of sit right over West Lafayette. Not a surprise here, but just sit here and rain all evening.
IU people show up and all hell breaks loose. Sorry.
Bloomington's sunny right now. I looked at the score, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. Hoping to get as much of this in and hopefully just have a little bit of a rain shower or something. But you're right. There's yellow and red on the radar, and this could be a lengthy delay, especially obviously with lightning. They usually, what is that, 20 or 30 minutes usually?
Usually 30 minutes, I believe, from the last lightning strike in the area. So,
but yeah, they're already getting the tarp out and covering up the field in anticipation of probably a pretty hard rain shower.
So, Rick, I was just telling Rick Sauter that the Trojans off to a good start. You always expect some nerves early on. I thought Crown Point also really good start, but it seemed like both teams, at least from a pitching standpoint and defensive standpoint, did well.
Well, just like we talked about with Center Grove, Fuhr is not the type of pitcher that's going to strike out. You know, like we saw in that 1A game where the girl struck out 17 girls. She pitches to contact, and her defense took care of it. One hard-hit ball by the leadoff batter to Sid Herman that she knocked down and then easily got her out, and then a couple soft liners and then another ground ball to Baird that she made a nice play on. So first 4 girls have put it in play, but like we've seen all year, that Center Grove defense has been very, very good. And on the other side, obviously Lazert's got she's got more speed on her pitches, and May grounded out hard to third base, and then Bryn tried to bunt, got her out, and then Sid Herman struck out. So both pitchers in control early, and now we wait.
So they're going to put the tarp over the infield area. It will cover up the entire infield. Outfield, obviously, I don't think it's going to be covered up, but the main part of this is with that dirt infield. You got to get it covered up as quickly as possible, so it is now covered up. And when I got here before the 1A game, they were using some blowers to get some of the moisture, if you will, off the outfield area along the first base line area, the right field line. So they did have some moisture in the outfield, but, of course, this is a state-of-the-art softball facility. They've got great drainage here at this stadium.
So is this, guys, where one of you pulls up your YouTube TV account pulls up the Pacer game and we do play-by-play on the Pacer game, or
like
that be against a lot of NBA copyright issues?
Kind of like the Manning cast, if you will.
Exactly.
There you go.
Rick's already instructed us we're not supposed to tell him anything about the Pacer game tonight. 8:37 was the start time, so it's 3 minutes away from starting.
All right.
I
mean, if we're going to do a broadcast, I'll go ahead and do it. Otherwise, I don't want to miss a thing. I'm taping it at home. I don't care if I'm up till 2 in the morning watching.
I think the rain has... Well, I thought it started, but it's the condensation from the air conditioning system up here.
The booth that we're in, that we get drops of water coming on our head and our arms, and it's just some condensation, I guess, from the air conditioning.
Yeah, that's right.
Potentially above us. So it's hard for us to know if it truly is raining or not. But, looking outside of our booth, doesn't appear rain at the moment. Again, this delay is all about lightning and of course, putting safety first. Fans to their vehicles, and the players, I think, may have gone to their vehicles. I'm not for sure.
I think there's some locker rooms that they have.
Locker rooms.
Yep. You can see Crown Points walking down the locker rooms on the third base side of the facility, so I think that's where both teams are. But, you can see looking south, which is where it's coming from, getting very dark, and the rain is coming. The only question is how long is it going to last, and is it going to prevent any more play tonight, in which, like you were talked about beforehand, and you were trying to get an idea, but the two games tomorrow are supposed to start at 4:30 and 7:30, I think, or 4:30 and 8. So there is a window before that game to complete this one if they do postpone it for the rest of the night. And just looking at the forecast on my way up here, it looks like the rain here tomorrow stops about 1 or so. So, it's possible that they could turn around and try to start this again at 1:30 or 2 tomorrow, but that's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit.
And talking to my IHSA contact, he kind of alluded to what Rick just said. It would be sort of an afternoon game prior to that 4:30 game tomorrow. So just try to keep it in close to the start of that first game tomorrow. So again, I don't think it started raining at the moment, but we're expecting rain anytime here. So, guys, let's change gears a little bit. It's been just a fabulous Center Grove spring sports season. The baseball team, tomorrow, they're going to play in the Elite Eight at Mooresville, 2 o'clock first pitch, taking on Franklin. But baseball this year, sectional champs, regional champs, county champs, been the top 2 in the state most of the season. So just a great run for Coach Hatfield and the baseball team.
It really has been. They've played great all year. We've seen the team, grow. Center Grove has a lot of talent every year, but this team has really done a nice job in comparison to some teams we've seen recently with the Trojans that are winning some tough games and winning some games that you kind of wonder how they just do that with some comebacks. So I think this could be one of these teams of destiny here for the baseball team, and we'll find out tomorrow. 2 big games tomorrow to have them potentially playing a state championship.
Yeah, you guys talked about the 2 games in the sectional there where Center Grove came from behind, specifically that opening game against Mooresville, who's kind of been their nemesis, and they were down 5-1 going into the 6th, and Center Grove got 4 to tie it then, and then you had the marathon 11-inning rain delay, lightning delay, storm delay in the top half of the 11th after Center Grove had scored a couple runs. And then they were able to get that out. But even the championship game, Center Grove was down 3-2 to Franklin Central going in the bottom of the 7th, and were able to get a couple runs there to pull that one out, and then they rolled in the regional. But you're right, it's to make any kind of state championship run, you need a game or 2 like that to pull out wins in that, and that's what Coach Hatfield and his team got done in the sectional, and hopefully it's going to be a war tomorrow against Franklin. I think Franklin's been circling this one, and it was a war the first time they played in the county semis, and Center Grove was able to pull that one out, and then the other regular season match was a blowout. But Center Grove hasn't seen either one of the Franklin's top couple pitchers this year, so they'll obviously see those guys tomorrow, but it should be a great game tomorrow, and obviously, hopefully, the weather will hold off for those games down in Mooresville as well.
Center Grove boys golf sectional champs, regional champs yesterday, went down to Champions Point to get that regional title, and they've won 13 regionals. They've won 3 in a row, and now they get ready for the state finals coming up on Tuesday and Wednesday up at Prairie View and Carmel. It's been just another splendid season for Coach Rodman and Coach Hoover and the boys golf team.
Yeah, it sure has. And they're pretty senior dominated this year. I think one junior, and all of them are playing well. If you look at the scores, they're all definitely under 80, and we've seen a couple 70s and 72s. So that's what you're going to need to take. You're going to get 5 guys going to play well, and they're ranked 6, but they could easily win it this year. And I think the difference with this team, too, is they're a veteran ball club. We've seen them beforehand where they've gone there and they've got a lot of sophomores, maybe even a freshman that's on a team, and that's tough. Those nerves and going there playing at Prairie View maybe for the first time in that sort of atmosphere is not an easy situation. But this year, senior dominated. It may not be the most talented team they've ever had, although they're extremely talented, but I think this team's got a chance to do something this year and maybe bring home a state championship for the golf team also.
Yeah, and Coach Hatfield, wrong team. Coach Rodman, he always does a good job. I think they played at least twice up at Prairie View, and that's something that you always worry about if your team hasn't seen that course. And obviously it'll be set up much tougher for the state championship next week. But they've played there a couple times. I think the probably the favorite on paper going in is Westfield. Westfield's finished runner-up, I think, 3 straight years or something like that, and have never won a state championship, but they're loaded. They've got a couple high D1 recruits, including one that's coming to Purdue next year. So that'll be probably the team to beat. But, yeah, hopefully Center Grove can put it all together and make a run next week. Also, girls tennis. Wow, what a finish for the girls tennis team. Sectional champs, regional champs, semi-state champs, made all the way to the Elite 8 at North Central. Lost to eventual champion Jasper in the Elite 8, but just a great run for CG girls tennis. They finally kind of got over that hump, if you will, with Franklin. They had lost 3 years in a row to Franklin in the sectional championship, and they were able to get that 3-2 win this year over Franklin. Yeah, and I'll defer to Rick Embry to give more detail, but they had a great year. Again, Jasper to beat them, won the state championship, and really pretty easily. I think 4-1 was kind of their scores in the semifinals and finals. So no shame there. Great season, and they've got a great program also. It feels like one of those years, Kevin, and our oldest kid, JT, was similar. They had lost, I think, 3 straight sectionals going into his junior year, and they were able to get a sectional championship. And this was similar to that, at least the way that I felt like Franklin had kind of had Center Grove's number over the last 3 years. And to be able to pull that one out, obviously I'm a little bit biased, but a huge 2-double 3-set win by my daughter and her partner Maggie keyed that one. But once they got over that hump, then they cruised in the regional, and then they turned around and beat a Columbus North team 4-1, who beat them the first match of the year at 3-2. So that was a huge win. And then obviously looking at the way that the matchups lined up, you knew you were going to have Jasper. And I told a couple people that was the best team that Center Grove played all year. And we played Carmel, we played Park Tudor. I mean, we played 6 other top 10 teams, and I felt like Jasper was loaded in singles and loaded in doubles, and that proved to be true. But a great season for those girls, and they're going to be, my daughter graduates, 2 other girls graduate senior-wise, but they're going to be loaded for the next few years. They got a fantastic 8th grade class coming in as freshmen next year, so I think that's a program that's not going to lose sectional for a while after the last few years. So once again, we are in a weather delay here at Vinegar Stadium at Purdue University. We're in the top of 2 with 1 away. Scoreless game between Crown Point and Center Grove. The fans have vacated or evacuated the area. They have gone back to their cars, and the teams have gone to their respective locker rooms. So again, we're just kind of waiting now for this weather to make up its mind. Is it going to clear out, or is it going to stick around for a while? Unfortunately, we feel like it might stick around for a while. If that's the case, one would hope they might make a pretty quick decision to say, hey, let's pack things up and let's try again tomorrow afternoon. So, again, very successful Center Grove spring sports season. How about the boys track team? County champs, sectional champs. They had some injuries along the way, maybe not what they wanted out of the regional and the state finals, but still, just overall, just another fabulous year for Coach Timmons and the boys track and field team. Yeah, really strong team overall. Great relays this year, and the 4x4 relay is always good. We've seen many times where they're in the top 2 or 3, and this year they were there again too. I think getting 3rd. I think the 4x800 team finished 5th, but that was a school record that they broke there. So you're right, though, Kevin. They had some injuries kind of late in the year, some hamstrings, some different situations that a couple of their very top sprinters weren't able to be 100% or really even participate. And
that makes all the difference in the world from finishing, say, 9th or 12th in the state to finishing top 5. So good year again, and they've got a good amount of strong kids coming back. And in track, kind of like some other sports, but that's kind of a reload sport for Center Grove. They're always going to be a top team, and hopefully I'll move forward next year.
Yeah, and I think you hit on it a little bit, Kevin. They had a lot of injuries. They had, a kid in Daxon Sauer that probably had a chance to place in the 100 and the 200 at the state meet, and he pulls a hamstring in the regional, his first prelim race out. So that hurt the overall points. And then a couple very talented hurdlers that they had that would have had a chance in the 100, Dallas Johnson, and then the Barber kid. Both those kids had some late injuries as well. So something you deal with, but you're right. It's first Coach Moore and now Coach Timmons. I mean, that's a powerhouse program that's usually a top 5, top 10 program every year.
Center Grove girls track and field, Warren Central invite champs. They won the Mooresville Invitational. They won the Trojan Classic, and they had a few that got to the podium in the state finals. And I think overall, a very successful year for the girls track and field team.
I agree. Well-rounded team this year, too, I think. You didn't maybe have that superstar that's going to win 2 or 3 events every big meet for you, but they were well-rounded. They had good field event this year. They had some excellent sprinters and good distance runners, and I think relatively young team. So going forward, I think that's a good, obviously a strong program, and they'll be strong going forward also.
Obviously good to see, like you said, the couple that got on the podium there. Lucy Burrill finished second in the shot put. That was a fantastic performance, her. And then one of my favorites, my all-time favorites, Chloe Walker. For the 3rd time she placed in the state in the pole vault. 3rd her sophomore year, 9th her junior year, and then 3rd again her senior year. And she'll be moving on next year to pole vault either at University of Cincinnati or IU. Still trying to decide where she's going there, but she had a great career, and that program did well to finish in the top 15 in the state.
Also, the inaugural season for boys volleyball, and we had a chance to do one of their matches this year. They played Columbus North at home. That was a lot of fun to do, and they ended up winning the sectional, and they lost to a very good Cathedral team in the regional round. But just for the first year for boys volleyball, very successful.
Yeah, great program. It's a new program, so you never know kind of what you're going to get, who's going to come out, what kids have played before doing that, and so you get a lot of athletes to try to put them together. But I thought the Trojans did a great job winning a lot of matches, really improving over the year, and winning that sectional. That's quite a feat there to start things off. And I think it was like an 8 or 12 team sectional, if not mistaken. So Lucy Cathedral is nothing to be ashamed of. They're obviously a powerhouse program, and so I think lots of potential for the volleyball team going forward.
Well, they had a couple talented seniors as well that are going to move on, but you're right. They've been really good. Coach Pollock has done a great job with that team, and it was great to see them have success in that inaugural season. And, yeah, that tends to be a sport that's dominated by, or has been by 2 or 3 programs. Roncalli won the state this year over Cathedral. But those 2 programs have typically been really, really good. Franklin's really good in Johnson County, and they beat Center Grove in the county championship. But that's a fun sport to watch. That's one of my favorite ones to watch in the Olympics, is both men's and women's volleyball, because the athletes there, it's just they can jump out of the gym. It's unbelievable.
And Rick, you and I had a chance to do quite a few of the boys lacrosse games this spring, and I know for the girls they had to jump up a level after they won state last year, and the boys again very competitive this year, made it back to the tournament, and I think got to the second round, but I thought lacrosse played well again this spring.
That's becoming one of my favorite sports to broadcast, just because it's high paced and a lot of contact, and it's just a fun sport to do. But that's been a fun one for us to do the last couple of years. Very talented senior class there that are going to move on, but they got a lot of returning guys next year, and that's a program that's never been more popular, both boys and girls. Those programs continue to draw kids in, and I think it's a sport that Center Grove can be very competitive in, and it's one of the fastest growing sports, not only in Indiana but throughout the country.
And also CG Ultimate continues the great tradition. They won another state championship this year. They beat Westfield, and I think they've won at least 13, maybe 14 state titles. So they've done tremendous things with the CG Ultimate Club.
Yeah, the Ultimate Frisbee. It's great. I live kind of over a little by Maple Grove Elementary. They're always out front there practicing. It's kind of cool to watch them practice because it's amazing how they can throw that Frisbee and then get to it. But that's a cool sport to watch and see, and that'd be neat to see that to get sanctioned someday too as a program.
Well, and the crazy thing about that too is if you look, and I follow a couple people on Facebook, the Wall boys that both played for Center Grove, both Jake and the Heiser kid, Cole Heiser, who played for the high school program, they both are starting for the Indy Alley Cats, the professional team that plays. I think they play at Grand Park actually on the north side. That's where they play their matches inside. So both of those kids that are recent in the last couple of years, graduates from Center Grove, are playing professionally for the Ultimate Frisbee, and that's a fun sport to watch, like you said, Rick.
So again, we're in a weather delay here at Vinegar Stadium at Purdue University. We're in the top of the second inning, scoreless game between Center Grove and Crown Point. Again, the fans have been evacuated to their cars. The teams are in the locker room. We'll take a break and be back after this timeout. Tonight's game being presented by Duke Homes.
I have lived in Greenwood my entire life. Born and bred, went to Center Grove High School, proud graduate, go Trojans. I enjoy this community. It's my home. It's growing, it has lots to offer, and I'm excited to be a part of it. At Greenwood, we are a full-service bank. We can handle your needs from simple personal accounts, savings accounts for your family, auto loans. If you need to have a mortgage, we can meet that need. Emily Wrigley has been in our office for years and knows the area. Scott Hines is Center Grove. He has lived here his entire life and is fabulous. You're not going to find anybody more local than us.
Providing great service is about more than installing water heaters and fixing ACs at Peterman Brothers.
It's about serving people and serving our community.
We see it as our responsibility to help our community grow.
It's why we gave over $71,000 to local charities last year.
When you choose to do business with us, you aren't just getting great quality service for yourself.
You're also supporting your community.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
back here at Purdue University during that break. The rain now has really picked up here at Vinegar Stadium. We're in a rain delay, lightning delay, weather delay, whatever you want to call it. We're in the top of 2, no score between Center Grove and Crown Point. I would think with this rain, the way it's coming down now, we might be close to a decision where they might want to say, hey, let's pack it up and try it again tomorrow.
Well, and I agree. I mean, you look at the radar. It's not like we got a quick flash coming in and then it's going to dry out. We are in for several hours, it looks like here, and it is coming down right now, and you can see it just getting really dark, and not just because it's getting a little later in the evening. It is dark because there are some really dark thunderstorm clouds out there. So potential, we'll have to wait and see what they're going to decide on the game. Hopefully, as we mentioned, they decide pretty early so we know kind of where we're doing. But I think, Kevin, you said the game plan would be to come back tomorrow to do this versus the boys' day game, and then hopefully boys win and do the night game tomorrow night.
Rick, I'm taking your job. I'm holding the umbrella.
I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come for a while, guys. I'll be honest. It's obviously we're on audio. It's a deluge right now, and
I'm holding the umbrella. We are in the booth, but I didn't do a very good thing here. I opened up the window, and I kind of got my equipment, I can't close the window.
Yeah,
so I'm going to hold the umbrella.
That sounded like a UND problem.
Yeah, Rick and I both. As soon as we got here, we said it's supposed to be raining. I said, "Look where Kevin's equipment. He can't move that window."
I'm trying to be optimistic, thinking, well, it's not going to rain tonight, but it's coming down pretty good right now. Again, the tarp is out over the infield. The outfield is exposed, but again, we're in a delay, and I would think if this keeps up much longer, that we'll have a decision hopefully soon, and that is to pack it up, head home, get some rest, and come back and let's pick up the game here in the top of 2 tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, and Kevin, I mean, you say at the World Series or Major League game where, players are used to staying up late and so forth, I don't think they want to have this game being 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. So, we're already, starting at 8:15, and now we're 9 o'clock. Even if it's another hour, you're 10 o'clock or so and ending maybe at midnight. I'm not sure that's what the IHSA wants either. So they maybe rather have people come back tomorrow. I know that is a pain, especially for the Crown Point people. We're making a long drive here. But that's probably the way that things are going to shake out.
And because I was actually curious on the way up here, Crown Point High School, an hour and 19 minutes from here.
It's closer
to
us.
It's actually closer than Center Grove. Center Grove's about an hour 35
and a half.
To get here. So, I mean, both teams have to drive home. Even if they cancel in the next 5 minutes, you get home at 10:30, and then you're probably back on the road. Like I said, there's a lot of rain in the forecast tomorrow morning as well, so I can't imagine that they would actually restart it until 1 or 1:30 in the afternoon, because you also need to obviously give your ground crew a chance to get any excess water and all of that stuff out of the outfield if there was any, and get everything in. But I'm not the IHSAA, and I have a lot of good ideas that a lot of times I don't even get listened to in my own household, much less the entire state. So
well, I think, Rick, you're right, though. I think they'd like to have where they can have a game, and not a big delay in between. You've got all your your tournament volunteers that are here. I think they'd like to get that back to back to back. So my sense would be, if it does dry out, if it does tomorrow morning and it's not raining, you get some, if not sun, at least some clear time and warmth to kind of dry out that outfield a little bit. Again, the tarp is kind of doing the infield, so we're safe there. And then you start that game at 1 or so, and that rolls right into your 4:30 game, and then your 8 o'clock game tomorrow night. So I know what they won't want to do is try to, if it is delay tomorrow enough where somebody's got to come back Monday or Tuesday. I know they're not going to play Sunday, but they're going to try to get them in all tomorrow for sure.
I keep looking for a tweet or something from the IHSA saying that, hey, we're going to call it quits tonight. But like you said, I can't imagine they're going to wait this out for an hour and a half. Unless it was a quick, hey, it's going to be over in 20 minutes and we're back at it. It is absolutely coming down in sheets right now. You can probably, over the the Beach Boys Wipeout song that they're playing as well.
Did you notice that?
At least they finally got it. I was waiting for the Purple Rain, the raindrops keep falling on my head, the weather theme.
I was thinking more like Milli Vanilli, Blame It on the Rain.
That could be, yeah. Or whoever sang that, not Milli Vanilli. Yeah, but...
it could be Milli Vanilli, but they're not singing it. Somebody, remember, they were the ones.
Right,
that,
right.
All right, so as we watch it now, coming down really hard here at Purdue University. Rick, you and I always do when we play a team that we normally don't play. Rick Embry and I. We always have notable alumni from the opposing team.
This is always a big hit, Rick Sauter.
Unfortunately, Rick, or I don't know for Rick Sauter, but good for Rick Embry, there's quite a few Purdue alums on this list.
That's a fine school then.
So notable alumni from Crown Point. Former player, basketball player, Michigan Wolverines and Purdue Boilermakers. Rick, anybody?
They played for both teams?
Yeah, it says here, Spike.
Oh, Spike Albrecht.
There you go. Nice.
Yep, he played his last year at Purdue, so you should probably pick this up tomorrow, Kevin, and get your equipment dry as it continues to blow in here.
Yeah, it's blowing in on us now. And there's one more, Rick, from Purdue. It's a basketball player, former Purdue men's basketball guard, Sasha.
Oh, Sasha Stepanovic.
There you go.
Forgot he was from Crown Point as well. Man, I didn't do very good on my Crown Point history, famous alumni. So, yes, both those guys. Now Sasha's an assistant coach under Coach Painter. So, yep, two great dudes.
So those are the couple of alumni from Crown Point with some Purdue connections. I think what we're going to do, we will take one more break, and then after the next break, we're just going to take the microphones down for a bit. We'll hang out for just a little bit longer here, and then once they make a determination on what we're going to do tonight, whether we're going to try to wait this out and play or we're going to come back and play tomorrow, we'll make that announcement once that time comes, and also we will put anything out on CG Sports Network, and you can follow us on Facebook, X, and Instagram. So again, we're in a weather delay here at Purdue University in the Class 4A softball state championship game. We're in the top of two, no score between Center Grove and Crown Point. Tonight's game being presented by Duke Homes. This is Trojan Softball.
Providing great service is about more than installing water heaters and fixing ACs at Peterman Brothers.
It's about serving people and serving our community.
We see it as our responsibility to help our community grow.
It's why we gave over $71,000 to local charities last year.
When you choose to do business with us, you aren't just getting great quality service for yourself.
You're also supporting your community.
Peterman Brothers, where great service runs in the family.
I have lived in Greenwood my entire life. Born and bred, went to Center Grove High School, proud graduate, go Trojans. I enjoy this community. It's my home. It's growing. It has lots to offer, and I'm excited to be a part of it. At Greenwood, we are a full-service bank. We can handle your needs from simple personal accounts, savings accounts for your family, auto loans, If you need to have a mortgage, we can meet that need. Emily Ribley has been in our office for years and knows the area. Scott Hines is Center Grove. He has lived here his entire life and is fabulous. You're not going to find anybody more local than us.
Back live here at Purdue University. We just got the announcement from the IHSAA. Tonight's Class 4A state championship game between Center Grove and Crown Point will be resumed tomorrow afternoon. Rick Sauter at 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock game tomorrow, so I think that's a good call. It's been pouring down rain here for the last 30 minutes, and I think they wanted to give it 30 minutes just to kind of make sure that delay got through and they can make a clear call, and it looks like just that radar, that rain is not moving from here. So good call. We're going to be a busy day tomorrow, Kevin, hopefully with a state championship and hopefully in a semi-state championship later in the evening.
For the baseball team, you're right about that. So we'll be back tomorrow. Again, 1 o'clock, they'll resume Center Grove Crown Point. It'll be, top of the second, no score, one away.
One out. That's
and
exactly
Crown
right.
Point will be at the plate. So join us again tomorrow. Rick, thanks for coming up tonight, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Sounds great. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. So again, Center Grove softball state championship game will resume tomorrow at 1 o'clock. Join us then for the live audio stream at that point. For Rick Sauter and Rick Embry, this is Kevin Conrad from a very wet Vinegar Field at Purdue University saying good night, everyone, until tomorrow.